The reason we only stock D'Addario strings is because D'Addario strings are perfect.
When people come in here, they think that we get them for free or something like that, but we don't. We have no other reason except for dependability and tone.
So the black one here is, I've got entirely Scott Holiday from Rival Sons to blame for my current Firebird kind of obsession. Huge fan of Rival Sons, huge fan of Scott's in particular. I just think he's such a kind of inventive, underrated guitar player.
Yes.
So I'd kind of been longing for a Firebird for a little time. Obviously this isn't a Firebird, it's a Firehawk, to avoid any litigious kind of inclinations, I imagine. Made by Michael Springer in France. He was kind enough to come along to see us in Luxembourg, I do believe. We were on tour somewhere in Europe. And he came along, gave me a bell and said, look, I've got a guitar I'd like you to try. Are you interested? So we brought it along, sound check, just fell in love with it. It was such a cool guitar. So we kind of kept in touch, and I guess it was inevitably going to end in a guitar at some point, So yeah, typical Henry Ford style, any caliber black.
Right.
But it's just an exceptional guitar. It's yeah, kind of fulfills a little bit of a niche within the set, I guess. I'm a big Jazzmaster fan as well, so it was a little bit of a toss-up as to whether it was this or the Jazzmaster that came with me to the US. Basically any guitar with a vibrola or a kind of vibrato arm, I guess, and something that sounds a little bit wiry and aggressive. And Firebird pickups, for anyone who's never kind of delved into that, are very much their own thing. And wiry and aggressive is probably a good place to start, in terms of description. So
totally, yeah.
It's a very cool guitar.
And the vibrola, does that hunker in tune pretty well for you?
It does actually, yeah. As of yet, anyway. I mean, I wouldn't go full Floyd Rose on it, but as of yet, for the abuse I've given it, it's been very solid. It's tuning is such a bugbear of mine. If it's not perfectly intonated, it's not perfectly in tune, kind of, yeah, really annoys me. So that's the kind of first thing to check on any guitar with one of these wiggle sticks. So.
Yeah. Do you know what kind of pickups he put in?
They're a company from the UK actually called Sunbay. I've used some of their stuff in the past. Amazing pickups, and again, these sound particularly good. I've had a little bit of experience with some vintage Firebirds, and this is comfortably on par. So yeah, absolutely over the moon with this. It's the one that he gave me initially to try on tour was wired slightly unusually, a little bit more kind of typically Firebird, I guess. Which is obviously fairly atypical for like a Les Paul or something like that, but this is just standard 50s wiring for volume, tone, which is all my brain can compute. So
sure.
Yeah, if it deviates from what I'm used to, I'm all at sea. So yeah, it's a beautiful guitar.
God, yeah. Okay, so let's hear this thing. God, great.
It's a cool guitar.
And what I loved it, even though we were on the bridge, it didn't have that offensive
spiky.
Bite. Yeah, I mean it was very present, but not like painful.
Take your head off, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's again something kind of obviously playing with my fingers a lot. Something I've always been super conscious of is not having that ice picky kind of top end.
Right.
So I mean you kind of from venue to venue you're at the mercy of the PA system and any frequencies that are inclined to leap out. But trying to kind of keep everything under control on stage is a good start, and obviously the pickups are literally the starting point of that. So yeah.
And I mean that just proves. I mean, tone is in the hands. You can make it darker or brighter, kind of depending on how you're.
Well, it depends what you're trying to sell, doesn't it? So
yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.